All right, welcome everyone. Let's dive deep into something pretty fascinating. We're talking about the connection between, well, your beliefs, and your biology.
Yeah, it's powerful stuff.
We're using Bruce Lipton's The Biology of Belief as our guide today.
Great book.
I think a lot of you listening are interested in how to, boost well-being.
You're sure?
And you probably heard about the mind-body connection.
Right.
Well, buckle up because we're going even deeper.
Deeper.
We're going to unpack how your cells actually respond to your thoughts.
Their beliefs too.
Okay, so how does that even work?
Well, Lipton, he challenges that traditional view of genetics.
The one where, genes control our destiny.
Exactly. He calls it the central dogma.
Central dogma. So, our DNA is this fixed blueprint, and we're just stuck with whatever we inherit.
That's the old way of thinking. But Lipton's saying, hold on, our environment matters too. A lot. And how we see that environment, that's huge.
So it's not just the blueprint, it's how we interpret it.
It's like the blueprint has options, and our perceptions, they choose which options get expressed.
Whoa, okay, so we're not just, passive bystanders to our own genetic code.
Not at all. Lipton's research suggests we're active participants. It's a total shift.
From genes are everything
To genes provide the potential, and our perceptions shape the outcome.
Okay, starting to see why this is so fascinating. But how do thoughts and beliefs actually reach our cells?
We need to think about the cell differently, not just a building block, more like...
Like what?
Lipton calls it a miniature human.
A miniature human. Okay, I'm intrigued.
Think about it. A cell has a membrane. It's like its skin protection regulates what goes in and out. It has cytoplasm, the busy internal environment where everything happens.
Right.
And, of course, the nucleus, the control center with the DNA.
So just like our bodies have organs and systems, the cell has many versions.
Exactly. And our brains get info from the world through our senses.
Right.
Well, the cell membrane, it's studded with receptor proteins.
Those are
like sensory organs for the cell. They pick up signals.
Signals
Hormones, nutrients, even energy signals.
Wow. So
Yeah.
the cell membrane is this, sophisticated information processor.
It's deciding what gets in based on what's happening outside.
And here's where it gets really wild, right?
Right. These signals don't just guide the cell's behavior. They can actually influence gene activity.
Wait, stuff outside the cell can switch genes on or off.
You got it. It's called epigenetics.
I thought genes were in charge.
It's more like they're blueprints with multiple options.
Okay.
The environment, those signals the membrane picks up, they help choose which options get expressed.
So it's like the environment's deciding which parts of the blueprint get used to build the structure.
Perfect analogy.
This is blowing my mind. So if our cells are always listening, what shapes those signals they receive?
Lipton says it's our perception, how we make sense of our experiences.
So two people, same event, but they perceive it differently.
Their cells could react in totally different ways.
Whoa. Example?
Imagine a challenging situation.
All right.
See it as a threat. Your body might freak out. Cortisol, adrenaline, the stress response.
Makes sense.
But see that same situation as a chance to grow.
Yeah.
Your body might release endorphins, feel-good chemicals. Same event, two different perceptions, two different biological outcomes.
So the way I see the world is literally shaping my physical reality,
Yeah.
down to my cells.
That's the core of Lipton's message. We're not victims. We can change our perceptions. And by doing that...
We change our biology.
Exactly. It's powerful stuff.
Okay, welcome back. So we just finished talking about how responsive our cells are to info from the environment.
And how much our perceptions matter in shaping those signals, right?
Exactly. Our minds and bodies are constantly talking.
A two-way street, definitely.
But it's kind of okay, our minds influence our cells, but how?
Yeah, good point. How does it actually happen?
Concrete examples.
Yeah.
I need to see it to believe it,
Lipton uses this computer analogy.
Okay, I like analogies.
Think of the cell's nucleus. That's the hard drive. All the genetic programs are there.
Okay, got it.
But the cell membrane with those receptor proteins, that's the keyboard.
Ah, I see where you're going. We interact with a computer through the keyboard. We give it commands.
Exactly. The info from the environment, filtered through our perceptions, those are like keystrokes.
On the cell membrane.
Yep.
Yeah.
And those signals, they start this whole chain reaction inside the cell.
Like dominoes.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Ultimately, it controls which genes are activated, how they function.
So my thoughts, my beliefs, they become chemical signals that tell my genes what to do.
You got it. Powerful, right?
Yeah, huge implications.
Right.
Okay, this placebo effect.
Oh, yeah. A great example.
People getting better from a treatment, even if it's fake.
Yeah.
Like a sugar pill.
It's because their belief, their expectation,
Yeah.
sends those signals to their cells, triggers healing.
It's like their mind is making it real.
Exactly. The mind's power over well-being. But there's a flip side.
Uh-oh, there's always a flip side.
If positive beliefs are so powerful, what about when we're stuck in negative thinking?
Good question. Makes me think about stress.
Right. When the world feels threatening, our bodies go into fight or flight.
The adrenaline rush.
But what if that danger never goes away, at least in our minds?
It's got to take a toll, right? Like constantly being on edge.
It does. Stress hormones like cortisol, they're meant for short bursts.
Okay.
But if they stay high, it disrupts everything. Immune system, digestion, even aging faster.
So chronic stress, it's like redlining your engine. Eventually something's got to give.
Perfect analogy. And Lipton says this applies to more than just physical health.
Oh. Like what?
Our thoughts and beliefs, they shape our behaviors, our relationships, how we experience life.
So if we're coming from fear, negativity, those limiting beliefs,
You're basically programming your cells to create more of that.
self-fulfilling prophecy almost.
Exactly. You believe you're unworthy of love, you might act in ways that push people away.
Ooh, yeah, I could see that. Okay. Starting to connect some dots here.
Yeah.
Like some of my own patterns. Not great.
But remember, just as negative beliefs have a downside, positive ones can have incredible positive impacts. Lipton's research offers solutions too.
Okay, good. So how do we rewire our brains? Just think happy thoughts all the time.
It's more nuanced, but the principle is there. Become aware of your thoughts, notice the disempowering ones, and actively choose to replace them.
With beliefs that support well-being.
Exactly.
Sounds challenging. Some of those subconscious beliefs are like super deep.
You're right, it takes effort, awareness. Sometimes professional help can be good too.
Right.
But Lipton believes we can change our minds. And by doing that,
Change our lives.
absolutely. And in part 3, we're diving into the actual tools Lipton suggests for this.
Okay, yeah, because knowing is one thing, but doing it is another, right?
Exactly. Stay tuned.
Okay, final part of our deep dive into the biology of belief. We've covered a lot. How our cells respond, the role of our perceptions.
Yeah. We've seen that mind-body connection. Powerful stuff.
For sure. But now I'm thinking, okay, what do we do about the negative thoughts, the beliefs holding us back?
Right. Getting practical. Well, Lipton, he talks about a bunch of tools. Mindfulness is a big one.
Mindfulness, everyone's talking about it. How does it fit in here?
It's about being present, in the moment. You observe your thoughts, feelings, no judgment.
So you kind of notice those automatic programs running in the background.
Exactly. You create space between thought and reaction. Then you can choose how to respond.
Instead of just like knee-jerk reacting.
Yeah, if we're always coming from fear, negativity, we're not really in control. Mindfulness helps us be more conscious.
Yeah, okay, sense. So we start to see those limiting beliefs, the ones that might be messing things up.
Like, I'm not good enough, or I'll never be healthy, those kinds of things.
Oof, yeah. Heavy stuff. But once we see them, then what?
Then you can try things like positive affirmations.
Affirmations, like saying nice things to yourself.
Exactly. You're putting new beliefs into your subconscious on purpose.
So it's like reprogramming. But does that really work?
Remember, your cells are listening. When you repeat those positive statements, you're sending new signals.
And that can change how they behave.
Potentially even their gene expression. It's like you're building a new internal environment, one that supports positive change.
Interesting. Lipton also talks about energy psychology. EFT, right?
Yeah, emotional freedom techniques.
I don't know much about that. What is it?
So you tap on certain acupuncture points while focusing on the negative emotion or belief you want to shift.
Tapping. How does that do anything?
It's thought to disrupt the energy pathways linked to those emotions, allows for a shift in perception.
Huh. So many different options for working with our minds and bodies.
The key is we have way more power than we think. These tools aren't about pretending everything's perfect.
Not ignoring reality.
It's about choosing how we see things, shifting from fear and limits to possibility to growth.
This whole deep dive, it's been amazing. I'm seeing my own thoughts, beliefs in a new way.
That's the first step, that awareness.
Wow. If we can really change our bodies by changing our minds, what does that mean for the future? So many possibilities.
It's a huge question. If we can consciously impact our health, our well-being, imagine the potential. Maybe we can heal in ways we never thought possible, have better relationships, live more joyful lives.
That's pretty inspiring. Thanks for walking us through all this. I've got a lot to think about.
My pleasure. And to everyone listening, keep exploring these ideas. Read Lipton's book. Dive into epigenetics, psychoneuroimmunology. This is just the beginning.
It really is. And if our beliefs can affect our biology, what changes can you make to your thinking to boost your well-being? That's something to ponder. Thanks for joining us, everyone.